Hey everyone, for those of you who may have seen some of my videos from years ago, you may remember Real Talk with R.J, when I talked about different topics and covered different points of views on different things, and, you know, just had a variety of things going on. So now I'm back. I took a 2-year hiatus basically from making videos. Some of it was just due to the fact that I was like, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure what kind of content I wanted to make. I had some things happen, like just personally. If you remember the last video I did, I talked about the bad breakup with the guy that I was dating and just a bunch of different issues, and I was just feeling very defeated and confused and, you know, just trying to figure this whole thing out basically. So let me kind of catch you up with what's been going on with me. Alright, so I am still, hold on, I'm going to adjust this light. There we go. So I'm still working, you know, the same day job that I've had. Of course, with this whole COVID-19 situation, I'm actually working from home at this point, which has really been a blessing, and I'll explain why. As you can see, my hair is naturally colored and super long COVID hair. Haven't had a haircut in forever. It is what it is, what can I say? So that's why I'm wearing this wrap, because I'm just like, my hair is just a mess. I need professional help soon to take care of it. Anyway, so let me catch you up on what happened. So when I made the last video, it had been at the point that I made that video and I was telling you about the bad breakup with the guy that I was dating at that point. That had happened a few weeks before I made that video, so it had happened like kind of toward the end of June of 2018 is when we had that bad breakup. And then I made that video after a few weeks of just trying to figure out what the heck am I going to do. So I just made that video telling all of you, hey, I don't know what else to do, so I'm just kind of you know, bow out gracefully for a little bit, basically is how I felt. So anyway, that was, the bad breakup was more toward the end of June 2018. I made that video in July of 2018, and literally the next month, August of 2018, August 10th to be exact, I went on my first date with the man that just a few short months later I'm married. So yes, to all my followers who was following my journey of, oh my gosh, am I ever going to get married? Is this ever going to happen for me? I'm so depressed, blah, blah, blah. So you know I did get married. I went on my first date with my husband on August 10th, 2018. He proposed marriage. He asked me to marry him the next month, September the 9th, I believe. I have all these dates in my calendar because I'm bad with dates, and I put them all in my calendar, like recurring in my phone, so I'll remember them. But I think it's September the 9th he proposed marriage, and I said yes. And then, let's see, I think it was just some short weeks after that I met some, you know, his side of the family, his parents. I'd already met his sister and his nephew, and so I was able to meet his other sister and his parents, and then we got married, and we did a courthouse wedding, which is the type of wedding ceremony that I've always wanted, either in the courthouse or just something, if not in the courthouse, then just something super small, where it's like somebody's backyard and there's like 7 or 8 people there, and we just say the vows and we're done. Like, I've never been the kind of person that wanted this huge grand wedding. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm more concerned with the marriage than I am with the wedding ceremony. So that's kind of where I went with that. So we got married in a courthouse on November 26, 2018. So I was very excited about that. That's my first time ever being married. And yes, we're still married. So it's been about a year and a half. A little over a year and a half now. So we'll soon be celebrating 2 years of marriage this coming November. And let me say that my husband is not from this country. Okay, so we met through a dating app. He was here in Orlando, where I live, but he is from a different country. I'm not going to say which one, but I will say it's a country in Africa. And he is from that particular country in Africa, and but he was here on a 6-month or 3-month or 6-month or something like that, like business or tourism visa. And so he was already here. He was doing his own thing. So no, I did not bring him here. We did not do a K-1 visa. I didn't pay hundreds and thousands of dollars and all that kind of stuff, because I told the Lord like a long time ago, I'm open to marrying somebody from a different ethnicity, from a different country, but I'm not bringing them here. Like, I don't feel that's my place as the woman to be paying for the man to come here and marry me. Like, no. So I told the Lord, I said, I'm open to it, but he needs to already be in the States on his own accord. Like, I'm not doing it. So that's ended up what happened. We met through a dating app. We started talking immediately. We started video chatting, and so we could see each other and see this is truly the person that I'm talking to. And we started talking. I think we talked by video chat for a couple of days, and then he was like, hey, I want to hang out. I want to meet up. So it was just a few days, and then that was August the 10th, 2018. We went on our first date, and it was just instant connection. Felt like I'd known the guy for years. It was an amazing time. I could tell that the Lord was truly doing something special, that he had made this man for me, and that he had made me for this man. And I could tell. And then, things just moved fast. I mean, we just knew we loved each other. We wanted to be together. We wanted to spend our lives together. We wanted to build a family together. So we just went for it. And that's exactly what we did. And so now we, like I said, we've been married a year and a half, and it is not easy. Like, yes, we're still very much in love, and we're happy, and that, and this and that, but let me tell you something. For those of you who are curious, it is not easy being married to someone from a very different country and a very different cultural upbringing. It is hard. Because my husband and I do, because we're both Christians, we share a lot of the same values in the sense of, like, you know, love for God, love for people, respect for everyone, respect for elders and authority, you know, that type of thing. Like, we share a lot of those common core values because of our faith, because our faith in the Lord transcends both of our cultures. But there's a lot of things, man. There's just a lot of things. And I would have to try to remember, like, all these different things. If I went to an event of, you know, people from his country, I would have to try to remember, you know, do this, don't do this, don't da da da. I'm like, oh, I can't remember all these things, you know. So it's been a little interesting at times. And at times, I'm gonna be honest, we've butted heads. And but we've had to, and we are still working through those things to say, hey, you know, we need to realize that we are two completely different people, and we don't want to change each other, but we do need to adjust to each other and to compromise and to modify our behaviors a little bit in order to accommodate the other person. And that's not been easy, because there's sometimes where he feels like he's doing too much accommodation, and there's other times where I feel like I'm doing too much accommodation, and then we're starting to lose who we really are as people. So it's been, and then we have to kind of rein ourselves back in and say, okay, let's just let each other be who we are, but just kind of do this very sensitive, respectful dance with each other of give and take, and learning how to understand each other and understand each other's perspective and point of view and the way that we think. It ain't easy. Okay, so it takes hard work. You really have to work at it. And yeah, the love is there, the passion is there, like all that stuff is there, but it's the day-to-day stuff, when you don't, when there's miscommunications because of a lack of understanding the other person's perspective, it's difficult. And that just happens in general with men and women. So we have those normal, like men and women, perspective differences, but then put on top of that, like two completely different cultures. So it makes it like 10 times harder, honestly, to really get that kind of understanding. So, pray for me. Pray for us now. I mean, we have no intention of, walking away from anything. We're in this for life. But I'm just saying, it takes a lot of hard work, and you have to be willing. Both people have to be willing to do the work, and that's what we are learning, and that's what we're learning how to do. And so things have been good, but they're getting even better because we're working through those things. So I'm very hopeful and excited about that. But I definitely love him a lot. He's a good man, more than anyone I've ever dated. Of course, now I'm married. I've never married anyone, so he is a very good man, has a lot of integrity, and works incredibly hard. He has an amazing work ethic, and a family man, just loves his children, loves me. He's a good man. So because I know that, we work through, if that makes sense. Like, we're both on the same page that, hey, we are both good people. Like, we're not in this to hurt each other. So once we put that in our minds, everything else is easier to work through. I don't know who that might encourage out there that's listening to this, but be encouraged. If you're with somebody who's just vastly different from you, or if you're married to someone who is from a different country and culture, like, just be patient. Give it time, and make sure that you're both making effort to work on things, because it is completely unfair to make one person do all the adjusting in the relationship and then the other person just gets to do whatever they want. Like, it's not fair. So you have to find that middle common ground. So just be encouraged. If you're in a situation like that, it can work, and it does work, and you're a better person for it because you're learning how to deny yourself at times and be more selfless. And hey, isn't that a Christ-like trait to begin with? Exactly. So anyway, I've been married since November 26, 2018. And sometime during my first or second week of marriage, probably my first week of marriage, I got pregnant. Okay, because we had done nothing before the wedding, before our marriage ceremony. None of that had happened. So we waited until we got married, and then once we married, it was like, hey, we're married now, we do what we want to do. So sometime during that first week, I got pregnant. And then I want to say about 10 and a half weeks into the pregnancy, so I was still in my first trimester, I miscarried the baby. And it was just, partly my age. I was 36 at the time, almost 37, and different health issues, my weight, all kinds of stuff. And a lot of women miscarry their first pregnancies just because their body is like, whoa, what's happening? Like, we're not used to this. What is going on? So sometimes, your body just rejects the baby because it's just maybe something was wrong with the baby, or maybe, your body's just not used to it. So I had a miscarriage. That was really tough. Really, really tough. Like, the pregnancy was unexpected, but once we knew we were pregnant, we were excited about it because we knew we wanted to have children together. But it was hard going through the miscarriage. So any of you ladies out there have had a miscarriage, I understand. And I miscarried at home. Like, I was not in the hospital. Everything. I mean, I don't mean to be gross, so if you don't want to hear anything about blood and stuff like that, like, turn the volume down for the next minute or two, but like everything came out in the toilet at home. So it was kind of devastating to me that my child was in the toilet for a little bit. Yeah. So that made me kind of sad, but the Lord knew the situation, and we got through it. And one thing my husband did was, even though he was grieving himself, he did everything he could think to kind of take my mind off of it, to make me laugh, to remind me that it's going to be okay. Like, there's going to be more opportunities for us to have children. And so he really, his attitude toward it, and his helping me through laughter, through just encouragement, really made a difference. And we got through it. And then, so that was around the last day of January of 2019 is when I miscarried. And then it took some time to heal. It usually takes like, I think 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes 6 to 8 weeks after miscarriage for your body to like reset and to have another cycle to where you ovulate again and everything. So I think by the end of February or March, I was ready again. And we weren't specifically trying to get pregnant. I mean, maybe, but not really specifically. And then in April of 2019 is when we conceived our daughter. And I carried her full term, and I gave birth to her just in December. She was born on December the 18th, 2019. 9 pounds, 1 ounce. She was born by C-section. Full head of thick, curly, black hair. Just a beautiful, round face like me, chubby little round face. Just a beautiful little baby. And she's still doing good. She's actually sleeping in her bedroom right now. It's her bedtime. She's a little over 6 months old now, and she is just, other than finding my husband, well, other than number one, knowing the Lord and being saved, and then number two, finding the love of my life through my husband, other than those two things, she is like the greatest thing that ever happened to me, because she's our little miracle baby. Like, I was kind of scared the second time around. Man, am I going to miscarry again? Like, what's going to happen, you know? But hey, we made it through. And I have a whole other story about how the C-section was not planned. It was emergency C-section. Like, I mean, on and on and on and on of the pregnancy and the birthing saga. It was a mess. It was very scary, but the Lord got us through. And so now I'm married, I have a baby, and that was where I was saying before that it turned into, even though this COVID-19 thing is awful and I don't wish it on anyone, and I feel awful for the people who have either gotten sick with it or passed away from it, but it afforded me the opportunity to continue to stay at home with my daughter, because I was on maternity leave from my job for 12 weeks, so she was just almost 3 months old when I had to go back to work at the office. And I did not want to. It was a financial situation type of thing. Like, we needed my income. So I had to go back. And then my sister, who was a stay-at-home mom of 3 kids, she watched my daughter, and I said, hey, you know, she's in good hands. She's with family. She's with people who love her. But while she was with my sister, even as much as she loved my sister, and loved my sister's kids, she was always excited to see them every day, she would not eat when she was there. She would not drink her milk at all. She would like gag on it and choke on it, and it was the same milk. I gave my sister the same milk that I was giving her at home, you know, prior to going back to work. And my sister knows how to make the milk, you know, she knows how to do all that stuff. So to this day, I don't know what the issue is. I think she just wanted her mommy. Like, she was used to me every day for 3 months. So I was back to work about 3 weeks, and almost every day of those, so I worked like Monday through Friday, so almost every day of those Monday through Fridays for 3 weeks, she wasn't eating. until I went to pick her up and got her home, then I could sit down and feed her. But she had missed so many hours of nutrients that she needed, and so her weight was starting to decline, and it was just not a good situation. And that was right in the height of the COVID situation, and my work has always been against allowing people to work from home. They just don't, it's their policy, they don't allow it. They sent us all home with their computers, the desktop computers, and my double screen situation, and I made myself a little home office. And I was able to stay at home with her and feed her and care for her. And she bounced right back, and she's been happy ever since, she's growing leaps and bounds, and it's just been a blessing for me to be able to be home with her. And I still get my work done, I still do everything I need to do. So it's just been a real blessing to be home with her, and to be able to be there for all those milestones, and to see them myself, and to teach her these different things, and to help her learn different things. It's been amazing just to see how much every single day, how much she learns and how much she grows. It's really cool. So that brings us up to the present day of what's been going on. So a lot has been going on in my life. Married, miscarriage, had a baby, all this issues, working from home. It's just been, whew. And I worked at my office job up till the day I went into labor. I didn't even know I was in labor. Okay. I was still working, and I think I worked through my lunch shift so I could leave my job an hour early and go to my OBGYN appointment, which was my final one, because I was scheduled to be induced like 5 days later. But when I went there and got up on the examining table for him to check me for dilation, he's like, you're leaking on the table. And he tested the fluid and saw that it was amniotic fluid. My water hadn't broke, but I was leaking my amniotic fluid. He's like, I'm admitting you to the hospital right now. I was like, great, because I literally just 2 days prior had put my bag and all my, the stroller, the car seat, the car base, all that stuff. I had just put all that stuff in the van. And I was like, thank God that I did, because I was ready, just in case. But it turns out that's what happened. Long story, but I was in labor for like 36 hours, and finally they had to give me an epidural and take her out, because she literally was like, I ain't moving. You want me to move down? Nope, not happening. She did not move down. And I was like, oh dear God. Please just get this baby out of me. Yeah. So, I'll probably do another video just about that altogether, because that was a whole saga. And for people to think that, oh, you're less of a woman if you have a C-section, let me tell you something. C-sections are no joke, okay? They are no joke. It takes longer to heal from them. Whew. And, yeah. You gotta have some strength to get through that. So the Lord help me for sure. Anyway, so this is my first video back, just to say that I'm back. I'm still thinking through what I want my content to be, how I want things to look. Do I want to have like a theme song, animations? I'm trying to figure out what exactly to do. I know, just looking back through my old videos, in the past couple weeks, I've kind of looked back through my old videos, and I've seen that the ones that had the most comments and the ones that had the highest views were the videos that I did when I would refute the heresies of Ray Hagins, if a lot of you remember that. Maybe I can get back into doing that. I did a little search and saw that he does have some new sermons up for 2020 already, and some from 2019 that I missed as well. And that kind of got me thinking along the lines of, well, he's just one guy, There's a lot of false prophets out there. There's a lot of people preaching and teaching all kinds of nonsense that does not line up with history, with the Word of God, but they're trying to make it line up with those things, and it's pretty frustrating to see, actually. So I thought, well, maybe I need to not just focus on Ray Hagins, maybe I need to tackle some of these other guys. And then that got me thinking about reaction videos, like instead of me watching the video separately, making my notes, and then coming back and then just linking the video in the description box for everybody to watch and see what I was talking about, maybe I should do a live reaction video to whoever the person is, whether it's Ray Hagins or whoever. But I don't know. I don't know if I have the equipment, the proper equipment to do those types of reaction videos where the little box is down in the corner where you see the video that the person's watching. So I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I don't think I have the right equipment, so I have to research that. So I'm not sure. I might talk about ethnic, intercultural, multicultural marriages, blended families, difficult birthing processes, C-sections, miscarriages. I mean, I may talk about a number of things. Bible studies. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. I think I'll still cover like different things from time to time, but I do want to have one particular focus to the channel, and then occasionally do some different things that are a little off topic. So I'm thinking the focus might be Real Talk with R.J., like focusing on the truth and knowing how to figure out the heresies that are being spun across the place. You know, like they say fake news, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Like finding out, you know, which preacher or false prophet or whatever is spewing out the fake news and how to identify, you know, and just tearing down their arguments with the truth. I mean, I don't know. That may be, you know, so please don't expect another video right away. Like, I need to take time to really figure out what is my approach, to make sure I have all the correct equipment to do my approach, whatever that approach is, and to just make it something that is fun, but educational, funny, informative, and, you know, gives you tools so that you can also learn how to identify false prophets and heresies. So, we'll see, but whatever I do end up doing, I'm back. So, give me a little time, maybe a couple more weeks for me to do my next video, because I am working full-time and taking care of my daughter full-time, and I have a husband and all that kind of stuff, so it is a little crazy right now, but I'm going to do my best once I get everything figured out of here's my system of what I want to do, here's my basic idea and concept. Once I get that figured out, then you will start seeing a video once a week. But for now, don't expect one right away. Give me a few more weeks. I need to solidify everything and figure out what I'm going to do, and then another video will be posted. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I would love for you to be a part of this little family we have here of people who just like to keep it real and talk about the Lord and talk about the truth. And so please subscribe and hit that little notification bell button thing so you'll know when I do post another video. When the next one comes, it'll be like the first video within what the content and within what my purpose is supposed to be for this channel. So thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I was long-winded. I wanted to, you know, do this justice and catch everybody up to what's been going on in my life and just, you know, let you know what's been happening. And hey, if you have any thoughts, if you like the idea of not just refuting Ray Hagins, but other false prophets and heretics, or if you want me just to focus on multicultural marriages and blended families, or, you know, what, you tell me in the comments section. what you would think would be a better thing, or what type of videos you would like to see from me. And let me know. And I'll take those into consideration, maybe see if there's a consensus amongst the comments that I get, and I'll definitely prayerfully take that into consideration. Alright, well, this has been RJ again. You've been watching, after 2 years, Real Talk with RJ. So thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you. I'm praying for each and every one of you who watch these videos. I really do. I pray for you that God will bless you and God will speak to you, teach you something, encourage you, and bless you as a result of watching. And give me some time, but I will be back, and you will see another video soon. So until next time, God bless you. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stay in the Word, and don't believe all the lies.